Welcome back to Cheating Stories, the channel where we share shocking tales of betrayal, heartbreak, and the strength it takes to move on. Today's story is called My Boyfriend Married Me for Papers. What started as a beautiful love story quickly turned into a nightmare that changed my life forever. If you enjoy stories like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Cheating Stories for more incredible real-life inspired drama. I never imagined that the man I loved would use me as a stepping stone for his own dreams. When I met Daniel, I was 27 years old and working as a receptionist at a dental clinic in London. My life wasn't exciting, but it was stable. I had a decent job, my own apartment, and a close group of friends. Daniel walked into my life one rainy afternoon. He was handsome, charming, and had the kind of smile that could instantly make someone feel comfortable. He had recently moved to the UK and was working temporary jobs while trying to build a better future. At least that's what he told me. We started talking when he came into the clinic for an appointment. A few days later, he somehow found my social media profile and sent me a message. Normally, I ignored messages from strangers, but there was something about him. We talked for hours every day. Soon, those conversations became dates. The dates became a relationship. And before I knew it, I was deeply in love. Daniel was attentive and affectionate. He brought me flowers, cooked dinner for me, and constantly talked about our future together. For the first time in years, I felt genuinely happy. After 6 months, he moved into my apartment. Everything seemed perfect. But looking back now, there were signs I ignored. Whenever conversations about immigration came up, Daniel would become unusually interested. He often talked about how difficult it was to get permanent residency, how stressful the paperwork was, how much uncertainty he lived with every day. At the time, I thought he was simply sharing his worries with me. I wanted to support him. I loved him. One evening, nearly a year into our relationship, Daniel proposed. I was shocked. He got down on one knee in a beautiful restaurant and asked me to marry him. Tears filled my eyes. I said yes immediately. My friends thought it was happening a little fast. My sister was especially concerned. "Are you sure you know him well enough?" she asked. I laughed it off. Of course I knew him. We lived together. We spent every day together. How could I not know him? The wedding was small but beautiful. Just close friends and family. Daniel looked emotional as he said his vows. He promised to love me forever, to support me, to stand beside me through everything. I believed every word. The first few months of marriage felt normal, but then things slowly began to change. Daniel became distant. He spent more time on his phone. He started working late. When I asked questions, he became defensive. At first, I convinced myself I was overthinking. Every marriage has adjustments. Every couple faces challenges. But deep down, something felt wrong. One night, I woke up around 2 in the morning. Daniel wasn't in bed. I found him sitting in the living room talking quietly on the phone. The moment he saw me, he ended the call. "Who were you talking to?" I asked. "A friend," he replied. At 2 in the morning, he shrugged. Different time zone. His answer sounded reasonable, yet something about his expression bothered me. The following months became increasingly strange. He stopped being affectionate. He barely touched me. Date nights disappeared. Conversations became shorter. It felt like I was living with a stranger. Then came the first major red flag. One afternoon, I received a message on social media from a woman named Sophia. I didn't recognize her. Her message was short. "Are you Daniel's wife?" My stomach tightened. I replied yes. The next message changed everything. "Did you know he's been seeing me for almost a year?" I stared at my phone in disbelief. My hands trembled. Surely this had to be some misunderstanding. I asked for proof. Within seconds, my phone filled with screenshots, photos, messages, videos, evidence that Daniel had been in a relationship with her while married to me. I felt physically sick. My heart raced. My entire world seemed to collapse. When Daniel came home that evening, I confronted him immediately. At first, he denied everything. Then he claimed Sophia was obsessed with him. Then he accused me of invading his privacy. Finally, when he realized I had undeniable proof, his attitude changed completely. He stopped pretending. He sat on the sofa and simply looked at me, without guilt, without remorse, without emotion. And then he said something I will never forget. "You weren't supposed to find out yet." I felt my blood run cold. "What does that mean?" I asked. He sighed, almost as though I was inconveniencing him. Then he told me the truth, the entire truth. He admitted that when we met, he was desperate to secure his future in the UK. He had struggled with immigration issues for years. When he realized I was a citizen, he saw an opportunity. At first, he claimed he genuinely liked me. But over time, his primary motivation became securing residency. The marriage wasn't about love, it was about paperwork. Papers, documents, a visa, a future, everything except me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The man I had trusted with my heart had viewed me as a solution to a problem, a shortcut, a tool, an investment. I began crying uncontrollably. Daniel remained calm, almost cold, as though discussing a business transaction. Then came another devastating revelation. Sophia wasn't the only woman. There were several others. Some before our marriage, some after. I felt humiliated. I had sacrificed so much for him, supported him financially, helped him through difficult times, defended him when others questioned his intentions. And all along, he had been lying. That night, I packed a bag and left. I stayed with my sister for several weeks. The emotional pain was overwhelming. I questioned everything, every memory, every promise, every moment we shared. Had any of it been real? Or had I simply been manipulated from the beginning? The divorce process started shortly afterward. Daniel didn't fight it. In fact, he seemed relieved. That hurt even more. It confirmed what I already knew. The marriage meant nothing to him. During the legal proceedings, more information surfaced. Evidence showed he had been communicating with multiple women throughout our entire relationship. Some of them believed he was single. Others believed he planned to marry them. He was telling different stories to different people, living multiple lives simultaneously. The more I learned, the worse it became. For months, I struggled to recover. I stopped trusting people. I avoided dating. I buried myself in work. Friends invited me out, but I usually declined. Part of me felt embarrassed. How had I missed the signs? How had I been fooled so completely? One day, my grandmother gave me some advice. She said something that changed my perspective. She told me, "Good people often assume others are good too. That's not stupidity. That's kindness." Those words stayed with me. Maybe I wasn't foolish. Maybe I had simply loved sincerely. And maybe Daniel had taken advantage of that. Slowly, I began rebuilding my life. I started therapy. I joined a fitness class. I reconnected with old friends. Little by little, I felt stronger. A year later, something unexpected happened. I met someone new. His name was Michael. Unlike Daniel, Michael never rushed anything. He was honest, consistent, transparent. When he said he would call, he called. When he made a promise, he kept it. For the first time, I experienced what a healthy relationship actually looked like. Trust didn't happen overnight. It took time, but Michael was patient. Eventually, I realized that not everyone was like Daniel. Not everyone had hidden motives. Not everyone viewed relationships as transactions. Some people genuinely cared. Some people genuinely loved. Today, I look back on that painful chapter with a different perspective. Do I wish it never happened? Of course, but I also recognize what it taught me. It taught me to value myself, to trust my instincts, to pay attention to red flags. Most importantly, it taught me that someone else's deception does not define my worth. Daniel may have married me for papers. He may have lied. He may have cheated. But in the end, he lost far more than I did. He lost someone who truly loved him, someone who would have stood by his side through anything. As for me, I gained something far more valuable. I gained wisdom, strength, and a second chance at happiness. Sometimes the people who break your heart end up teaching you the most important lessons of your life. And sometimes walking away from betrayal is the first step toward finding the life you truly deserve. Ending. Thank you for listening to today's story. My boyfriend married me for papers. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Cheating Stories. Your support helps this channel grow and allows us to bring you more shocking stories of love, betrayal, revenge, and survival. Make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Until next time, stay safe, trust your instincts, and remember, the truth always finds a way to come out.